Good morning, year one. Today in maths we are going to be continuing counting on to find the answers to addition questions. Remember, our addition symbol is like this here, across. Let's see what we're going to be doing. Our star words for today are tens, ones, those are things we really focused on last week. Add and addition, in total, altogether, and digit. Let's do a power up to warm up those brains. Are you ready? Our first part of the power up, we have to count forwards from this number here. Do you know what that number is? 6, well done. And we're going to stop when we get to this number here. Do you know that number? 16, well done. So my class are really good at reminding me to stop when we're doing some counting in the classroom. So see if at home you can shout at your screen to stop when we get to the number 16, and that will remind me that we need to stop because sometimes I'm a bit forgetful. Right, you ready? Starting from 6 and we're going to continue to 16. We can clap as we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thank you. Well done for telling me to stop. Right, let's look at our next one. It says count backwards from this number here. Oh, let's see if we can work out what number that is together. So I already know we've got 10 here, so I can count on from 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've got 17. We're going to count backwards from 17 to 7. So this time you're going to need to tell me to stop when we get to 7. Are you ready? Starting from 17 and this time going backwards. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Thank you for telling me to stop. That was really helpful. Right, our last one says count forwards this time from 9 to, do you know what this number is here? 20. Fantastic. So we're going forwards. Are you ready? You need to tell me to stop when we get to 20. And we're starting from 9. Let's go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Brilliant. Thank you for telling me to stop. Right, are you ready to discover today's learning? Let's start by just having a little look at the picture here. What do you notice in the picture? You can take a moment to pause the video and discuss with your adult just what you see. Have you done that? Wonderful. I could see that these scissors here were in a block of 10, just like we were doing last week. And I could tell how many scissors there were all together in the blocks by counting on. So I know I had 10 here and I could count on to see 11, 12. There are 12 scissors in the block. Is that something you noticed as well? Brilliant. Let's see what our question is asking us. How many scissors are there in total? So we know how many are in the block, but if you'll see over here, this little girl has got some in her hands. How many scissors does she have in her hands? Fantastic. She's got 1, 2, 3. So we want to know how many there are in total with the 12 that we noticed in the blocks and the 3 in the little girl's hands. Now, what do you think we could use to help us find the answer? Have a little think here, maybe pause the video and talk to your adult. What types of things could we use to show the answer? What an amazing idea. Now, I thought it would be a good idea if we used 10 frames. So let's do that. Right, let's look at that question again. So it says, how many are there in total? Can you see what I've done here? I've represented the amount of scissors that we already had in the block. Do you remember how many there were? Well done. There were 12. And as you can see here, I've got my group of 10s and then my 1s and let's count on to doubly make sure it's 12. So we've got 10, 11, 12. Brilliant. But if you remember, we want to see how many there were in total with the little girls, how many she had in her hands. Do you remember how many she had in her hands? Fantastic. She had 3 in her hands. So what we need to do is count on from 12, adding 3 more counters to see how many there are in total. Now, if we're counting on, we need to make sure we are saying the next number. So, do you remember what's the next number after 12? Brilliant, it's 13. So when you see the new counter come up on screen, the next number you're going to say is 13. And we're going to be adding on 3 more counters to represent those 3 scissors that were in her hands. Let's see if you can help me count on. So we've got 12, and now we're going to do our 3 more counters. 13, 14, 15. Well done for counting on. Can you see here that we've got 3 more counters representing the 3 scissors in the little girl's hands, and we counted on to find the total. What number did we end on after we counted? Brilliant, it was 15. So our total is 15. Now let's look at question 1b. How many scissors would there be if both blocks were full? Now, our tens frames here are representing the 2 blocks. So we can use our 10 frames and fill those up to see how many there would be in total. Do you want to have a little guess first? How many do you think there's going to be when we fill up these remaining spaces? That's a fantastic guess. Let's see if you're right. Are you ready? So, how many do we have here at the moment? Fantastic. All together, we have 15. So, we can count on from 15 whilst we're filling up these remaining squares to see what the total is. Are you ready? So, we're not starting from 1. We're going to start from 15. Let's go. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if we had a full block, we would have 20 pairs of scissors. Let's put that number in there. Now, do you think you could help me write these 2 answers as number sentences? I always find that really, really helpful to remind me what I've been doing. Let's start with the first question up here. I'll go back to remind us what that looks like. Let's see if we can write a number sentence. How many did we start with? How many red counters are there? Fantastic, there were 12. And what did we do? Did we add 3 counters or did we take away 3 counters? Fantastic, we added 3 counters and then our total was 15. Do you think you could say a number sentence to the person you're with that shows what we did? What an amazing number sentence. Great job. 12 plus 3 equals 15. And that shows us these 12 red counters here. Then we added 3 and it made the total 15. Let's see if we can do that with our next question. It asked us how many scissors would there be if both blocks were full. Now we found out that the answer to this was 20, but I want to see if I can write this as a number sentence. If we look at both of our tens frames representing the blocks, we can see that there's 10 in here in our tens frame, and how many counters are in this tens frame? Fantastic, it also has 10. So we've got 10 and 10. Do you think you can think of a number sentence to show this? Well done. 10 plus 10 equals 20. Brilliant, just like that. Okay, let's think together and find out our next question. Let's have a look. There are 15 biscuits in the tin. Oh, so I know in here are 15 biscuits. How many biscuits are there all together? Now, so there's 15 in the tin, and how many are there on the side here? Should we count them? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 on the side and 15 in the tin. I want to add them together to find out how many there are. What could I use to help me do this? An amazing idea. I'm going to use my tens frames again, just because I've used them, but well done if you said anything like a number line, or I could maybe try and count on with my fingers. That would have been brilliant answers too. Let me get my tens frames up because those are going to help me. I'm going to start by representing the 15 biscuits that are in the tin. I know that 15 is bigger than 10, so I'm just going to start by putting all 10 of my counters in that first tens frame. You ready? There they are. I don't need to count them because I know there's 10, but I do need to count on from 10 till we get to 15 to represent the rest of the biscuits. Are you ready to help me count on? So I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done for counting on there. Great job. Now I need to add the next 4 biscuits from the side of my biscuit tin. Now remember, in this lesson we're practicing counting on. So that means we're not going to just put in 4 counters and then count all of them one by one, so that takes such a long time. As we put the new 4 counters down, we're going to say the next number in our sequence, counting on from 15. Are you ready to do that? I'm going to add the next 4. Make sure you are counting on. So we've got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Brilliant. What is our answer then? Fantastic. It's 19. Now, can you think of a number sentence that we could write down using that plus sign to show what we did here? Have a little think, pause the video and tell the adult the number sentence that we could write. The counters could help you with that. Wow, what an amazing number sentence. Let's have a look. Fantastic. We had 15, shown by the red counters, plus 4, shown by the yellow counters, equals 19. That's all the counters together. There is another way of writing this down. Do you think you could switch 2 numbers around to make the next number sentence? Pause the video and have a go at doing that. Did you think of it? Incredible. 4 plus 15 equals 19. If you remember, just like in our part-whole model, the 15 and the 4 are our parts and they can switch round. It doesn't matter which way they go. Your task today is to count on to find the answers to these questions. Now you might notice in all of these you already have some counters. Now those counters are the first number in your number sentence. What you need to do is draw on the amount that you're adding and count on as you are drawing them. So I'll show you here. I started with 13 counters, that's the red ones, and then I drew on 5 and counted on as I did that. So I had 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then I put my answer in the box. You're going to need to draw this out in your books and then count on the amount you're adding. Your challenges for today, you've got 2 today, are: can you write a second number sentence for each question? So just like we were doing together in our Think Together, we were switching around those parts to make another number sentence. And I want to see if you can do that for each of those questions. And then your second challenge is to think of how many different ways can you complete this addition. So you've got the whole here. You want to see how many different parts you can find that add together to make 18. When you've done all of this, don't forget to send those pictures to your teachers. Well done for your incredible work counting on today. I will see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.